After a lengthy hiatus, Dan Mangan is back with a new album, a new name, and a new beginning. And it's the fourth studio album for yourself, and the first under the moniker Dan Mangan and Blacksmith. Here it is, Club Meds. It has all the makings of a masterpiece. How excited are you to finally take this out on the road and share it with everyone?
It's been good to get these songs out there. They lived in my head for a long time, and it was like 6 months of total immersion working on this record, and real labor of love. So it feels like the most kind of complete record I've done. I'm a vessel in the valley, getting real with the tally.
So let's talk about the hiatus. So late 2012 to early 2015, essentially, you're off.
Mm-hmm.
Could be seen as a risky move at a time in your career when it seemed like you were poised to ride that momentum from 2011 release,
Mm-hmm.
Oh Fortune. How did you ensure that you were making the right decision and that you weren't making your biggest mistake?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think we were just exhausted, to be honest. Like, we had been going I had been touring nonstop for about 7 years. And the band was with me for a lot of those years. And it's tough. It just felt like we were getting so many lucky breaks and things were going our way. And of course, there's this fear that as soon as you stop, all that luck's going to fade away and people are just going to forget about you.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there was that risk. But I think it was sort of, for our mental sanity, just to take a break, have a breath. Those who pretend to believe hardest might actually begin to. The nature of the bliss, the warmth of ignorance gives into. Wanna breathe in all the ashes. Books say tried to burn. I wanna taste resilience on my tongue.
One of the biggest changes and most publicized changes for you was the birth of your son, Jude. You and your wife, Kirsten, celebrating that during your hiatus.
Mm-hmm.
How has that changed your perspective on things? And
I think most parents will tell you, especially with the first child, it's like a freight train because your whole life you're just kind of like doing whatever you want to do all the time. And then all of a sudden, you get smashed with this weight of responsibility. But the gift of that responsibility is the humility in it. And sort of, it's a very humbling experience becoming a parent because you realize you are now more vulnerable than you've ever been. So that was really healthy for me. And then also in terms of a body of work, I think I really started to feel like I didn't want to just shovel more music onto the pile of music in the world. There's a lot of music in the world. I felt like if I was going to contribute something, that I wanted it to be relevant, I wanted it to be thoughtful. I feel like with this record, the lyrics got a little bit more jagged, a little bit more punchy, and a little bit more kind of socially critical, which is a very dangerous thing to do in a way, because I don't intend to soapbox. I don't intend to shout answers at people or to hit people over the face with this is the way it is and why can't you see that? I think it's really important when you're kind of delving into social political issues that you do it with a subtlety of, here are some questions, discuss. I think that's a more powerful thing to try and create connections between people rather than to drive a wedge between them and say, this is the way it is. So I don't purport to have the answers, but I do have a ton of questions.
Well, Dan, if this album is any indication of where Dan Mangan and Blacksmith are headed, then we can't wait to see what's down the road for you.
You're very kind.
Thanks so much for joining us on Go, and we hope to see you back here
Absolutely.
again sometime soon.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.